Welcome to Learn Commerce PU online classes. Don't forget to like our video and subscribe our YouTube channel for all the updates.
Welcome to our second PU Computer Science online classes. In last class, we already learned some important topic about our database concept, meaning of database, or we can say the differences between manual data processing or called as electronic or computerized data processing, the meaning of manual data processing, and also the meaning of computerized, that is called as computer files data processing here, and also the meaning of data, information and fact. Now in today's concept we are going to learn the most important 5 marks question, that is data processing cycle. And such data processing cycle is also called as our information processing cycle. Okay, so in our data processing cycle, that means the way of data processed in computer information management system is called as data processing cycle. In which way we are going to process the data by using computer in computer information management system called as data processing cycle. And such data or information processing cycle consists of 5 following steps. These steps are input, processing, storage, output, communication. So there are 5 following or specific steps are there. So let's first of all we going to start the first point, that is called as the input. We know that input any kind of data. So what are the data we are going to input? And by using keyboard we are going to input data into the computer, maybe letters, numbers, symbols, spaces, or maybe the images, audio, video, or whatever the raw material put into the computer system that needs processing. What's the data we are going to input into the computer? Later words, by using central processing unit we are doing some of the processing, some of the actions or operations in our computer, or by using the input data here. Why? Because to generate some of the output, to generate the information, to generate the result in this case here. That means to generate the result, first of all we need to input the data. So data may be in form of letters, numbers, images, sound, video, or whatever the raw material put into the computer system that need processing here. And the data going to input into the computer by using some of the input devices such as, so what are the devices we need to use to input some data into the computer? We are using the keyboard and sometimes mouse, correct? No, here we using the keyboard, or maybe the input devices are mouse here, and some other input devices are scanner, microphone, digital camera. So that means to input any data into the computer we need to use some of the input devices, maybe the scanner or microphone here, keyboard, mouse here. We need to input the data into the computer. In general or in simple form we can say that the data going to convert into computer understandable form when you are going to input data into the computer here. That means the data going to convert from English to the machine code by the input devices. Correct? No, when you are going to input any data through keyboard here, so that means the letters that is in the English form here, such English form going to input to the machine code here. That means the computer understanding just only the code like the machine code, the 0 and 1s here. So the English going to convert into the machine code by our input devices here. So this is the explanation about our input. Clear this point here? Now we already inputted the data into the computer. Now let's see the next steps of our data processing cycle, that is the processing. Now what about the processing? We already inputted data into the computer here. That means to get some output, to get some result information, we need to do some of the processing. So here we can say that processing is a series of actions. Clear this one? Some of the action we are going to perform in our computer here. So that is called as the processing. So processing is a series of action or a series of operations. Clear this one? And why we doing all such operation or the actions? Just only such operation from the input data to generate the output, to get the report, to get the information, to get the result. We doing some of the processing here. The processing only called as the operations or also called as the action here. So what are the processing we are performing in our computer? So we can say that some of the processing action or operation we can perform with the computer are here. So yeah, we can about our extracting a part of field or the attribute. Why? Because in our database we know that the meaning of database, collection of information, and while going to collect the information by using the column, we are going to input the data. Correct here? Maybe if you are going to collect the database like a student, then register number, name of the student here, or the address of the student, or phone number. So each and everything we are going to collect by each line here, one after the another. But totally here 4 lines. I said the 4 lines, that is the register number, student name here, and maybe the we can say class here, or maybe the address of the student. But I don't want the 4 line. I want to access just only 2 line of the database student here. So that is called as the extracting a part of field or the attribute, just only a part of the column I am going to access. That means also we are performing some of the operation or the action. It is one kind of the action when you are going to access any column of the database, and here I am accessing a part of the column of the attribute here, or maybe any type of the calculation. It also comes in case of the processing only, or maybe indexing, or maybe sorting, making some of the arrangement in data. It also one kind of the action or the operations in this case here. So and later we can say that the classification based on some condition. We are doing some of the classification. It depend on some condition of the data here or substring here. So all are example for our processing or the series of action or the operations here. Or simply we can say that the meaning of processing, the conversion of data into information by the central processing unit here. Correct? No, without central processing unit we can't do any kind of the operations here. So whatever the data we inputted by using input devices, we need to perform some kind of the processing, we need to perform some kind of the operations. So here we can say that the simple meaning of the processing, the data that is going to convert. Correct? No, here? So the data is going to convert into information by our central processing unit, or simply by using one example, when computer adds 4 plus 4 that is equal to 8, that is an example or act of processing. Clear this point here? The meaning of the processing here. And later next one is about our storage. Now what's the meaning of the storage here? So we can say that we know that now we already inputted the data into the computer, we already did some of the processing, calculation or any kind of the operation we perform with the inputted data here. Now it is the time to do some of the storage action here. So we can say that the data and information, whatever the data and information or the result we got here, such a result here maybe you want to store in some places. Why? Because laterwards you want to use such data in this case here. So the data and information not currently being used must be stored in some places so that such data can be accessed laterwards. Correct? No? Here, so there are two type of storages are there. So what are the types of the storages? First one is the primary storage, second one is called as the secondary storage here. Now we know that the storage, that means here whatever the data, if you don't want currently, recently such data here, such data going to store in one places here, and we know that in our storage there are two types are there here. The first one is the primary storage, second one is called as the secondary storage. Now we know that primary storage, the primary storage is a computer circuitry where we'll get such primary storage, that means inside the computer, and maybe whatever you want to do some of the processing action, we need to pass the data maybe from secondary memory to the primary memory. Why? Because the RAM going to do some all those action very quickly with the primary storage only here. So we can say that the primary memory or storage is a computer circuitry, and that whether we are storing data permanently here, no, we are not going to store the data permanently. That means that temporarily stores the data in this case here, or waiting to be processed and get inside a computer, and it is very fastest memory when you are going to compare to our secondary storage here. And later next one, why? Because now we know that the meaning of the primary storage and also some explanation about our primary storage. Now let's see secondary storage here. We know that the secondary storage where data is held permanently. Correct? No? So some of the example for the secondary storage we can use as the floppy disk, or maybe the compact disk, read only memory here, or the hard disk. All are some kind of the secondary storage. Clear this point here? So this is about our some explanation about the next third topic, that is called as the storage. We know that storage, there are two types. One is the primary, second one is the secondary here. So the primary, and here temporary we using the data or storing the data here and get inside the computer, and it is very fastest memory. But in case of our secondary memory where data held permanently, some example floppy disk, compact disk, read only memory. And later next one is about our output. So now we already inputted data, we did some of the processing action here, and if you want to store such data, also going to store maybe by using primary memory or also by using our secondary memory here. Now later was I want to show such data on screen, on monitor here. So this is called as the output. So we can say that the result or whatever the information obtained after processing, that is called as the output. Correct here? So we can say that maybe any kind of the result, and maybe if any result you want to show on screen, such result that is going to obtain after the processing is called as the output here. Or in other words, we can say that the data must be presented to the user in user understandable form. Why? Because we know that here many forms are there, machine form is there and user understandable form kya. So maybe whatever the data is there in machine code we can't understand. We know just only the machine understands such coding here. We can't understand. But in case of maybe if we are going to show such a data in user understandable form, that means we can say that here whatever the data going to present in user understandable form, that is called as the output here. And finally, some of the output can be animated with sound, image, pictures here, or finally we can say that the result may be in the form of reports. That means sometimes the report going to create by using our hard copy or the soft copy. Clear this point here? So this is also calling as the output in this case here. So here finally the meaning of the output, the result may be in the form of reports, and such reports sometimes we are going to create in form of hard copy and also the soft copy. And last thing about our data processing cycle, that is the communication. So in our communication, why? Because the computer nowadays have communication ability. We can communicate, we can transfer the data from one computer to another computer, that is called as communication. So it is the first features, or we can say that it has some of the powers. The power is the communication ability here. And with wired sometimes we are going to communicate by using wired communication, or sometimes with wireless communication connection here. And so what about, so in case of the communication we can say about the input or the data may be going to collect from afar, from anywhere the data going to collect here. So going to collect from the afar here, and after that such data going to be processed in our remote area anywhere. After collecting the data anywhere, we are going to send the data, and such data going to process anywhere or maybe in remote area here. And maybe if you want to store such data, you can store such data in different places, correct? No? And different places. And after that, if you want to transmit such data, that means such data can be transmitted by using the modem, that is called as the by using the modem as an email, or maybe by using posted to the website. Clear this point here? That means that is called as the communication wherever the online services are rendered. We are going to post the data. So here simply in this explanation, just in case of the communication, I want to tell here why, because the data going to collect from or in one places here anywhere, the data going to collect in this case here, or maybe going to process anywhere in this city here, and later was if you want to transmit such data going to transmit by using the email here, or maybe such data going to post to the website here. So we can say about the explanation. So this is the explanation about our communication in our data processing cycle. And later, now we know that why, because in our data processing cycle there are totally 5 steps. We already completed these 5 steps also here. So the first one input, second one is about processing, third one is the storage, fourth one is the output here, and last concept that is called as the topic, the communication. Now let's see the next concept about our database terms. So in our database terms, some of the important concept or highlighted points are there. So the first point is about our file. Now what do you mean by a file? Why are we using the file? So we can say that file is a basic unit of storage. It is a unit of storage. Why we using file? Why? Because to store some data. So it is a basic unit of storage in computer system, or in simple words, file is the collection of or large collection of related data. That means here we are going to collect the related data of the database, and such data going to input or such data going to store by using the basic unit that is called as the file here. So this is the meaning about our file. And later after the file, the second thing about our tables. Clear this point here? This second thing about our tables here. So in our table, so we know that why, because this is the table, and such a table consisting some of the rows and the columns. So maybe the ID, name, and maybe the our address, and later next one is the class, and this, and here we are going to create the record. The record is 1, name of the student is A, and address may be the Karkala here, and class may be the second commerce. Clear this point here? Now here we can say that why, because we are in the concept about our tables. In relational database, a table is a collection of data elements. That means it is a collection of data elements here, and such data elements organized in a terms of rows and columns. Now which is called as the rows. That means here, now this one is called as the rows. Whatever going to move from left to the right, that is in the horizontal manner here, that is called as the rows here. So clear this point here. So this one is maybe the 1A Karkala second commerce, that is called as the rows. So whatever the collection of data or the collection of data elements organized in terms of rows and columns, that is called as the table. Or in other words, we can say that a table is also called or considered as the representation, the convenient representation of relations. The other name of the table, why, because it is also called as the relational database. The other name is the table in this case, and also such a table is also calling as the convenient representation of relation. Why it is called as representation of relation? Why? Because we know that in table, whatever the data organized in terms of rows and columns, so there is relation is there in between rows and the columns. So simply we can say that the table is the most simplest form of data storage. By using the rows and columns, we are going to store the data, that is called as the table here. So in this example we can say that. Now let's see what about the table. So what's the name we are going to use for the table? That is called as the name of the table. Maybe the table name I am using here, the name of the table is the student. Now what about the columns here? How many columns are there in this table? Totally there are 4 columns are there. The columns are ID, name, address, class. Clear this one? So the columns of the table student are ID, name, address, class here, and later next one is about the third thing we can say about the records. So how many records here in our table here? So totally there are 3 records are there. Clear this point? So here why? Because this one is the 2 and this one is the 3, or maybe the student name B and C for our next record here, or maybe the address is the Udupi, or next address is the Mangalore here, or maybe the students from the class second commerce only. Clear this one? So here we can say that because we know that the table name is the student and columns are ID, name, address, class here, and later next one the total records there are 3 records are there in the table student. And after knowing the meaning of the tables here, now let's see, we'll go for the next concept, that is called as the record tuple row. Clear? Now we know that the meaning of the record. Why? Because I already said. So the meaning of the record means A single entry in a table is called as a record. Clear this point? So in this example, this single entry, that means just only I am going to select this row information. Clear this point here? So the first row information is 1, name of the student A, address of the student Karkala, class of the student second commerce. Clear this point here? A single entry, the information about the student A is called as the record. So because of this reason, when I am going to tell about our record, I said here 3 records are there. Why? Because in this table, now this is the record information about our B student here, and this is the record information about our C student. So we can say that the meaning of the record meaning a single entry in a table, just only the information about A student information. Okay, yeah, or in other words we can say that a record in a table represent a set of related data. Clear this point here? It representing the record means it representing a set of related data. That means here the connectable data of each student here, that is called as the record, and such a record is also calling as the row. Clear this point here? Is also calling as row, and such a record not just only call as the row here, also call as tuple. The spelling of the tuple is the T-U-P-L-E. Okay, the tuple in this case here. So we can say that the meaning of the tuple, that is same. What's the answer we need to write for our record here? The same answer applicable to our tuple. The meaning of the tuple is a tuple are also called as the record. Now what do you mean by a record? The meaning of the record, single entry in a table is called as the record here. So that means we can say that the record also called as row and also called as the tuple here. Clear this point here? And later next one, the next topic about our attribute. The attribute only called as the field. Okay here, or the fields. So what do you mean by the attribute or the fields? So here we can say that each columns is identified by a distinct header. Clear this point here? See, why? Because whatever the record we are going to collect just depend by seeing the name of the columns. So we can say that the column name is called as the attribute or the field. Clear? So here how many columns are there? One is the ID, name, address, class. Now this is the example for our attribute or the fields here. So clear this point? So the meaning of the attribute or field, each columns is identified by a distinct header. The header of the column is called as the attribute or the fields here. And later next one is about our, after the attribute or the fields, the next thing about our domain. D-O-M-A-I-N. Domain. So what do you mean by a domain? Why? Because here we can say that the set of values, that means we are going to enter value in each column, in each cell of the table here. So this set of values for an attribute in that column. You know the meaning of the attribute. The attribute only call as the column. The attribute only call as the fields here. The meaning of attribute, each column identified by a distinct header. That means in column, while going to enter information in column, every information we are going to fill up. Correct no kya? So this is called as the domains. So the meaning of the domain is the set of values for an attribute in that column. And the last thing about our entity. Clear this point here? The entity in our database terms here. So what's the meaning an entity? So here an entity means is an object. So some of the example for the object we can take as the table or form. Okay? Here, so entity is an object, and some example for an entity, the table or form. And an entity relationship means how the table is going to relate it to each other. Maybe when the table is possible to make some relation here when you are going to use two tables. That means something we are going to collect from table 1 some information, and some information you are going to collect from table 2, and you are going to make the another table here. So we can say that here an entity relationship means here we are going to make the connection between the tables here. So an entity relationship means how the table is going to link or connect to each other is called as the entity relationship. But in case of an entity means the meaning of the entity is just called as an object. Object means some example for the object, table or the forms here. And later next one, the last thing about our database form. In our database concept, the types of DBMS. That means here what are the types, data types we are using in our database while going to create the information. So what's the data types we are using in our database concept here. So the first database we can use while going to create the database, the first data type is the integer. Clear this point here? Integer, you know the meaning of the integer. What's the meaning of integer? The integer is meaning whole number without any fractional part. When you are going to enter any data, that means the data is the 10, the data is the 100, or data is the 2000. That means we are not going to use any pointable fraction. No any point in this case here. So integer means here, for example, salary 10,000, 20,000, 40,000, like that we are going to enter here. But it's not necessary. Sometimes also we are using the floating data type for the salary, but most of the time we using for the salary the data type is the integer. So here we can say that means our integer means whole number without any fractional parts here. So such a data type also usable in our DBMS. And later this second data type, that is the logical data type. That means in our logical data type we can say that such a data type stores the data and that has only two values. The values are true and false. Clear this point here? Maybe in some condition, maybe you want to show the condition true, or maybe sometime you want to show the condition false. On that time, while going to create the database, we need to use, maybe in some condition you want to show true or false any result here. On that time we need to use the data type. The data type is the logical data type. Clear this point here? And later next one is about our character. So what about the character here? So we can say that in our database the characters example may be the letters, or maybe the symbols here, or maybe any spaces. All are the example, or finally we can use the last example, that is the punctuations. You already know the meaning of punctuations. In this case, what are the character we need to use, and what about the symbols here, what about the meaning of the letters? That means just only the one character we are going to use. Correct? No? This is the example for the character here. Maybe Z anything by using the single quote, or maybe any kind of the number here. We are also going to use in case of the characters. So in our character field, or what about the information we store in our character field here, we can store some of the name, some of the numbers in this case. But what's the memory space of the character? That means the memory space of the character is just only 1 byte. You know the meaning of 1 byte, that is equal to the 8 bits. Why? Because we know whatever the information we are going to input into the computer, first of all we need the memory space here. We need the memory space. in case of our character. And later next one is about our string. So we know that why, because in our character just only one character we are going to use, and the size of the character is 1 byte here, and some of the information we can store, that is the address, letters, numbers, by using single quote here. So this is about our character. And string meaning here we can store more than one character, group of characters, sequence of character we can use by using the data type string. And the fixed length, that is the range, is the fixed length of the string range is 0 to 63 KB. Clear this point here? 0. So this one is the fixed, that means static. The string length range is the 0 to 63 KB, and dynamic range, that is from our 0 to 2 billion characters. Clear this point here? So till that we can store all those information by using our string data type here. And next thing about our memo data type. So in case of our memo, why, because we already know character, one character, string, that means here sequence of character going to store more than one here, group of character we can store here. And I already said fixed length 0 to 63 KB, and dynamic string range ranges from 0 to 2 billion characters here. And later next one, about our memo data type. So in our memo field we can store up to 65,536 characters. Clear this point here? Till that. So that means here we can store by using the memo data type. Here if you are using any memo data type means how many character we can store by using memo data type while going to create the database here. The memo data type can store up to 65,536 characters. We know that in our data types we already learned till 5. That is our first one is the integer, second one is the logical data type, third one is the character data type, fourth one is the string, and the memo data type we already know in our memo we are going to store up to 65,536 characters. Now let's see the sixth one, that is about our, or the sixth point in our data types of DBMS, that is the index field. So what about index field? What we are going to store in our index field? So used to store relevant information along with the document. So whatever information you want to store, or the relevant information, important information you want to store along with the document, then we are going to use the field like our index field while going to create the database here. And such, or we can say in our the document, input into the index field is used when needed. When you want, then only you can collect the document from the index field here. So such index field program provides up to 25 definable index field here. So many type of index fields are there here. So it defining 25 definable index field into the index set. Some example, autocomplete history list. It going to create in history. So autocomplete history list here. Otherwise we can say about our any lookup drop down list in this case here. So many are there in our index field here. And later next one is about our currency field. So what we are going to use in our currency field? So such currency field accept the data in dollar format. Clear this point here? It accepting the data in dollar format in this case here. So this is the use of the currency field here, accepting the data in the dollar format by default here. And later next one is about our date field. Why we using the date field? It's a common. Why? Because everyone is know, maybe if any date means in database, sure we need to write the validation of the data, or maybe any date or any entry of the data here. So whatever, so such entry of the data or any date data here we are entering by using the field like our date field. So in our date field we can say that in our date field it is going to accept the data in date format. Clear this point here? It is going to accept the date field is using to accept the data in date format. And later next one is about our text field. So why we using the text field? Why? Because we know that currency field accepting the data in dollar format by default. Date field is using to accept the data in date format here. Maybe any date you want to enter in our database, by using the field like our date we can use here. And later next one is about our text field. So the text field can accept the data in alphanumeric text string. Why? Because sometimes we are not using the characters, and sometimes just we are using the character, and sometimes we are using just only the numbers. By using the field like our text field we can use both the character as well as the numbers. One example we can write here W1. Clear this point here? So this is the example for our alphanumeric. Clear this point? Alphabet is there as well as the numeric number is there. So W1, otherwise A12. Clear this point here? So this is the example. So in this type of data, if you want to enter by using the field like our text field, okay, while going to create the database. And later next one is about our single and double precision. So in our single and double precision, meaning the 7 significant number or value for a number here. Maybe after writing many numbers here, later was after the point we are using many numbers in this case here. So this is about our, in this type we want to enter any information while going to create the database. On that time the data type is going to use, the data type is the single and double precision. Clear this point here? So that means we already completed in this chapter, in this video we already completed some information about our data processing cycle here, database terms. It's very important chapters or very important concept about the file, tables, record, tuple, row, attribute, field, and maybe the domain, entity table here, and later some information about our data types of the DBMS. So the data type of the DBMS are integer, logical data type, character, string, memo data type here, index field, currency field, date field, text field, and single and double precision. Clear? Okay. Thank you.